top.
Hey everyone, it is Rachel, and I have not posted on here in so long. I just feel like I've been so busy. I've had so many crazy life changes, but one of my goals for 2026 was to consistently post on all my social channels. So I figured I would try to start posting on YouTube once every week to keep up with that goal. I always wanted to do like sit down videos like these. Like these are the ones that I watch the most. I feel like it's way easier to be like personable and vulnerable and like get to know me better like on a YouTube format rather than like TikTok or like a short form video. So I figured I would do like a not necessarily a podcast, but like a little series on here about just life advice, talking about what's going on, like really whatever. So I'm going to call it glowing and growing because that's what we're going to be trying to do together. And today I figured we would talk about learning to walk away from people when they treat you badly. I feel like friendships and relationships are something that I've been struggling with recently, and I figured I would just talk about it. I feel like it took me up until a couple months ago to realize to like just start walking away from people who are not good people or toxic people who do not treat you right because I always was like, okay, they're going to change, or if I do something different, they'll change, or if I keep trying, or if I show that I care about them more, they're going to change. But that's never the case. And if they did care about you, they wouldn't be doing that in the first place. My first biggest lesson of this was my high school ex boyfriend. We dated up until like my freshman year of college and then some, but I feel like he was a really bad boyfriend. And at the time, I had so many excuses for it. And I was like, well, like it's my fault. Like I made him angry to treat me like that or say that or do that. Or I maybe I'm not trying hard enough. Maybe I'm not being a good enough girlfriend. Maybe we're too young. Maybe he's going through something. And I stayed way, way, way too long. And it really just boils down to if they cared about you, they would never do that. Like people make mistakes. I make mistakes. I'm not always a perfect friend, a perfect girlfriend. But when someone is coming to you and they're like, your action, whatever you're doing, you're really hurting me. If the person truly cared about you, they truly cared about your relationship, having you in your life, they would try to change. They might not be perfect at it, but they would try. There'd be effort. So the lack of effort tells me everything that I need to know. So that was definitely my first lesson because now that I'm far removed from that, I was like, wow, like why did I stay so long? Like why did I give him so many chances? Like I would have been so much happier if I left. Then I got to college and we had people in our group who weren't great either, but I always felt like we were kind of stuck together. Like this was our college circle. We're all stuck together. So like I feel like I can't be the one to cause a rift because this person's treating me bad and be like, I'm not gonna talk to this person anymore. Cause then it's like this huge rift and I didn't want to mess that up for other people. So I always felt like I had to be like stuck in like these college friendships. Graduated college, I was like, wow, like I am free. Like I can cut people off if I want now. Like I don't have to keep people in my life anymore that treat me badly. Like if someone's toxic or bad for my mental health, like I could just stop talking to them. Definitely had a couple friendships from college where I was like, this is not working for me anymore. I feel like they do not reciprocate the same energy that I do. Like I'm the one checking in. I asked to hang out. I asked how something went. Like where that's never reciprocated. Like if I didn't text, I wouldn't hear from them. And I feel like that's what it boiled down to. And I was just like, it always made me feel so bad. Like, why am I not good enough? I feel like that's what it always boiled down to. But then I was like, why even keep trying? Because nothing's changing. And I've had conversations with these people multiple times. I've sat down with them. I'm saying, I feel like we don't have like reciprocated energy in this friendship. I feel like I'm pushed to the back burner. Sometimes I feel like you're not there for me. And I feel like I always got the response of, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I can't change, like kind of thing. Like this is just kind of who I am. And I know I'm being a bad friend. And that's about that. These conversations, I'd be like, okay, but like, do you want me to stop doing something? Like, is there something I'm doing? And they're like, no. And then I just got to a point where I'm like, they just don't care. Like, that is what it always boils down to is they don't care. But if they don't care, then screw them. The one thing that I sometimes still to this day cannot comprehend is how can someone do that? And I'm like, how can someone do that? I feel like sometimes that's what really holds me back because I'm just thinking and thinking and thinking. I'm like, how could someone do that? How could someone do that? I'm like trying to like look up like the psychology behind it because I want to understand it. I want to have closure because I feel like I can never be like that. Like, of course, I've made mistakes or I've said mean things. Everyone has. That's how you learn and how you grow. But overall, being shitty to someone consistently when they are begging you and asking you to be different, it is like, how could you do that to someone? And you start to realize that yes, it has everything to do with them and who they are, but it doesn't make it any easier for you to walk away, to understand it, to have closure with it. And then another thing that I've always done is I would always go back to the person after a couple months and then a couple more months because I'd be like, okay, maybe once they sat like with it, they would like miss my friendship, like I'm missing them. That's never the case either. Like these people, they don't care. Like that's usually how it is. There's different situations of you're outgrowing people and you might not fit in their life. So this is like genuine like toxic people and they are bad for you. They treat you bad. And those people are not going to change ever. They won't unless they really put in the work. But most of the people that I've met that have been toxic or really bad friends or really bad people, they would never in a million years put the work into change. They've expressed that they don't want to change. So that's how it is most of the time. It's something I still struggle with to this day. Like there are people that sometimes I will still text or I still think about, or I'd be like, okay, I've done differently. Can I still do something? And these are the tips that I found out have helped me the most. My number one thing is therapy. I've always recommended therapy. I've been in it forever for anxiety and other issues, but when you're in therapy, you talk about what's going on in your life. And when I've talked out what's going on with these friendships and relationships, I feel like a therapist's perspective is always really knowledgeable. It like helps you understand. Like sometimes they like give you like a reality check and it just puts everything into perspective. So if you're open to therapy and you can do therapy, I would always recommend therapy if you're having issues with like attachment styles, or you find yourself always like in friendships with toxic people, you have a hard time walking away, whatever it may be. Number two that I feel like has helped me as someone who always wants closure but never feel satisfied with like what is given to me, because I feel like the person's are going to say what I really want them to hear, is I found it really helpful to look into like the psychology behind why people act the way that they do. It never excuses their behavior, but sometimes it gives me, I feel like I'm very analytical with that stuff. So it just gives me a better understanding. And that's something that's helped me. Podcasts and videos like this have always helped me because I feel like hearing people's stories of people going through similar, it puts it into perspective that it has nothing to do with me. This is happening to a bunch of other nice people, and that's just how it is. Like there's just some shitty people in the world, but it always makes you feel better to know like that people are having similar experiences to you. So that has made me feel better. This fourth one is going to sound a little stupid, but sometimes if I'm like, woe is me, or these people, I'm so upset, I just try, I'm like, okay, there's nothing you could do. And sometimes to make myself feel better or try to just have a different outlook on the situation, I do an act of kindness, not to that person, but whether it's donating something, going to volunteer, even a small act of kindness of like paying for the coffee of the person behind me has always helped me. I feel like the last thing that's helped me is practicing being alone and doing things solo, because it makes me feel like I don't need any of these people. So it's not like, oh, I can't cut this person off because I know they're toxic for me, but I feel like I need this person in my life and blah, blah, blah. Once you just like learn to be by yourself, it's so much easier. And that's like way easier said than done. Like you should have seen the crash out that I had after my ex boyfriend broke up and cheated on me. Like I lost it for like a year or two, and I was not okay on my own, but I learned to be okay on my own. And I love doing stuff on my own. I go to coffee shops on my own. I go do solo days with myself. I feel like I get to know myself better that way. I feel way more sure of being alone. And also like even I have like a day planned to go into New York City alone. Like doing stuff alone, you learn yourself more. You learn that you can be alone without people. And I feel like that helps you walk away from toxic people, because you're like, if you're not adding stuff to my life, then why are you in my life if you're taking things away from it? Is this is something that I wanted to talk about today because when I wanted to start posting on here consistently. So I'm going to try to post a video like this once a week moving forward. And also, I really like doing these types of videos because I love being able to help one person. So if someone's out there looking for a story similar to theirs, I always love to be able to give tips of stuff that I learned, because I'm always looking for tips in situations that I'm in. And also, I really like these types of videos, like sitting down and talking. It's very therapeutic and healing for me. I hope some of these tips helped on learning to walk away from toxic people, but it happens to everyone. People have bad people in their life, and it's nothing that you're doing that is causing them to treat you like that. And at the end of the day, it just takes practice doing it and being sure of yourself, and you will get there. Anyways, I will see you guys next week.
love.